Hi, everybody. Today we are going to talk about how to prepare for the exam and probably what are the best, practice methods which could be really great for preparing when it comes to the specifically preparing for final exams. This video is going to be helpful for specifically the students, those who are in 6 to 10 standards. Even though if you're writing a board exams, you probably might want to check it out. So in this video, it's a huge disclaimer for everybody. Everything what you are going to see till the end of the video, probably all the methods are basically based on our own observations while we were guiding our students for over the period of years, and what exact the methods are really work on the ground and what doesn't. So you're going to check it out. You're going all the pros and cons. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So what is the first thing to do? So there are some do's which you need to do it, and there are some don'ts. So let's talk about the don'ts which you need to do, because usually we pay too much attention on how to prepare, what are the things to do, but I think somehow we skip the things which we shouldn't be doing while preparing for our final exams. So what are those things? The first thing is basically, do not start basically going into YouTube or probably these days AI for your entire final exam preparation, because there are students and or the incidents which we came across, we heard from the parents that the kid is basically spending hours after hours on YouTube, specifically probably when we asked them, and they said they're just clarifying some of their doubts, which doesn't make any sense, right? Because essentially, if you see, you have already spent the whole year, you studied whatever you had to prepare, and after spending the whole year, now here comes you are saying, oh, I still have doubts. You may have doubts which is basically obvious from a specific topic or chapter, but that doesn't mean you are going to get the exact answer which you are looking for, or the specific doubt you have on a specific sub portion of any topic. You will get it on YouTube video, or you might want to spend an hour to just come across, and you might want to check maybe check it out, maybe 3-4 videos like this. So you have to understand, आपको एक इतनी छोटी सी डाउट है और कोई बहुत ही स्पेसिफिक डाउट है, उसको क्लियर करने के लिए आप क्या कर रहे हो, घंटों भर अपने YouTube में सर्च इंजन में वीडियोस देख के आप अपना टाइम जो है उसमें इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो. एक वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम है या फिर आपका टाइम एज एन इन्वेस्टमेंट, या आपको डिसाइड करना है. यू आर द वन हु टू draw the conclusion, but I'll give you both the sides. So one thing is, if you have access to your coaching institutes, you probably go to the coaching institutes and get those doubts cleared with the help of your coaching institutes. You have teachers, so they will definitely guide you out. If you are not going to any coaching institutes, उस केस में आपको क्या करना है, you have your textbooks. First, specifically, let's talk about the subject, the theoretical subjects. We are not talking about math or specifically physics या science के बारे में. उस केस में आपके लिए बहुत आसान है. आप क्या कर सकते हो उससे, instead of going to YouTube, आप अपनी टेक्स्ट बुक से रिवाइज कर सकते हैं. आप मे बी आपके स्कूल से और ट्यूशन से आपके ऑलरेडी नोट्स बने हुए हैं. So just go through those notes. Maybe you will come across, somewhere you already wrote about this specific topic. And more or less, if you go through your textbooks, I think the doubts or specific doubt you have, those things will be, over. So ये आपका पहला don'ts. Next don'ts is basically, which I usually see kids, what they do is related to the first one, by the way. When you go and start spending time on YouTube to search, specific doubt, and you end up, getting trapped by the, the algorithms, and you start basically getting into next recommended videos or something like that. and then you get into that trap. You end up watching YouTube for hours. Probably you are watching some I don't know, the things you have probably already watched, maybe car racing, or maybe anybody's podcast, or I don't know, like what you are interested in. So you probably saw something. So those things will related things will start feeding your home screen or dashboard. So you get caught up on those things, right? And you didn't realize that you have spent so much time. But why you came you initially came to clarify those doubts, but right now it's kind of a rabbit hole. You're getting into that. There is no way out, right? Next video is coming, and then before that you get a next recommendation. Maybe it's I don't know, it's or totally on some different topics, but you may get drawn into this and you feel like, well, let me watch that video too. So what I'm trying to make you understand, this is the next second don'ts. If you start using YouTube's or phone to specifically clarify your doubts, so you keep getting into that rabbit hole trap, and you spending more time into that. Again, it's up to you. You have to decide. You have to draw the conclusion whether it's a time of investment or it's a waste of time. Third don'ts, and which is basically the final don'ts I'd like to mention, because sometimes what students they do is called analysis paralysis. Is a very renowned theory, and which is pretty much applicable in almost in all arenas. It's suitable for students, suitable for professionals. So sometimes what we do, we start doing over exaggeration, and then we start keep postponing the things. So by what maybe you will feel like, okay, I am literally getting into it. Maybe you have doubts on specific, let's say some math. Okay, let's get into the math or physics in this time. Let's say you have a doubt, or you have you are not being able to get a specific or remember a specific formula, and you want to know now the derivation of the formula. So here's the spoiler, guys. You maybe this derivation is right now is not needed for you. Maybe if you're in 7th standard, 8th standard, maybe you do not need. Maybe in board you need. Maybe you're in 12th standard, you probably need that. Maybe you need to prove that thing. So otherwise it's usually those specific such derivations maybe you need in your bachelor's. So what I'm trying to make you understand that right now I am heading for my annual exam or session ending exam, which probably the question I have, probably the derivation I'm looking for, from where this formula came. You want to get into its source, this all history. There are students, for example, I have students right now, even in my current batch, so I know how they are going to. It's not about, guys, getting into the research work. Research work can be done after the exam. It can be done any point of time. You can do it when you are in college, when you have extra time, you can do it anytime. But the whole point is, if you right now do not use your time wisely or distribute it equally for specific every subjects, you may end up running out of time. That's what I'm saying. So these are the 3 don'ts I said. First one is not trying to get your doubts clarified by specifically YouTube's. If you have access to your school teachers or tuition teachers, go get it done from them. Number 2 is, if you do the first one, if you do not cancel it out, then you will end up spending a whole lot of time. You have to decide whether it's an investment of time or it's a waste of time. Third thing is analysis paralysis. If you are not stopped doing this, then probably by the time you realize exam is already at your doorstep. There is no time, there is no way back. So now here comes to the do's. What are the do's we can do? The things, you can say the best practices. So over the period of years, what we saw, basically, the most successful students, we probably see the things which they have used, or the strategy, even in our institute, what the methods we told them, and they implemented, and So I'm going to cover at least 3 of them. So the first thing is probably, like I said, you have to get along with your textbooks. Your textbooks, let's say you have a time gap of, let's say, 1 month right now, let's say, a couple of months, a couple of weeks you have, or maybe at least you have 3 to 4 weeks, and then you want to get through your whole entire syllabus. And that's the best thing to do. Go through, your textbooks, chapters, or maybe you have access to your notes which you have prepared on those chapters. Go through them, and after going through them, then you can go through the question answers, and you can solve those. And then probably you will coming across, okay, there are some of the topics which I have doubts. Now here comes to the next point. If you have doubts on certain points, certain topics, which you will probably, if you are revising honestly, and then how you can get those doubts clear is, you go specifically, if you have access to school, you can go to school teachers, you can ask it. If you have a tuition teacher, you can note those specific topics and get those done, when you are in the coaching. Why I'm saying this is very important. If you don't do it, don't do these 2 steps. Because you will be able to, you will get into the analysis paralysis, which I mentioned in the previous don'ts, right? So third point is basically, when you're doing the revisions, you have to mind that once you have done your textbooks, once you have got doubts, or you've already got over with them. Third thing is doing the mock tests, or maybe sample test papers or mock tests. Keep doing for the similar exam pattern you are going to face, maybe your annual exam or session ending, same, maybe it's a 70 marks or 80 marks, or whatever the marks you have, pattern you have. Based on that, you keep doing those mock test papers or sample test papers. If you keep rinse and repeat until you get to the point where exactly you feel, okay, right now I'm confident, maybe I can answer 100% question within the time, given time period. So that's the point which you want to be, right? And if this is the case, you have to, like I said, you have to keep going and back and forth to do the test again and again. And in between this, you probably will come across some topics where you made mistakes, because you will be rechecking, reviewing those answer sheets. Or maybe you have a teacher, somebody that can do it for you. And then if you have some doubts on specific topics, those specific topics you have to again readdress. You have to do it through your textbooks, or maybe you have a teacher that can help you out. So these are the 3 don'ts and 3 do's, guys, and these are the best practices which we have seen over the years, over the period of time. It worked for many students, and I hope you find this video helpful. It will also work for you. If you find it really helpful, then do like and subscribe to the channel, and it will definitely inspire us, and definitely gives us a boost to come again and cover such topics. Over and out. All the best for your exams. Namaskar.